So I'm getting ready to install some MistKing nozzles, and if you're using a screen top, having a wedge will help support it so it doesn't put pressure on the screen. They make a wedge, but it doesn't really fit well on Exoterra tops, so I've taken to just making my own, and I kind of cannibalize old Tupperware covers. So I just cut them so I have a flat piece of plastic, and then I make sure I have a right angle on the corner. So what I've done here is just disassembled the top part of the nozzle, which you just do by pulling down that collar and then popping this out. And then I'm taking off the washer so I can use it for sizing and figuring out hole placement. So I want this a little in so I have spacing around it to actually support it. I'm just doing my best to make a center dot. It doesn't have to be exact. So just do a quick sanity check here. And it's not a lot, it's just enough to keep having something weighing on a hole in the screen, basically. So as long as they fit in the corners, we're good to go. So we need a 5/8 hole for these MistKing fittings. So I'm going to start with a very small drill bit. Just drill a little bit of pilot holes. Do this very carefully. Alright, so now I've switched to a step drill bit. And this one has a 5/8 ring right here. So to be very careful to hold this securely. Where I'm drilling needs a space big enough for the drill bit to go down. And I have to be careful to stop at the correct ring. There we go. You know, these don't have to be watertight. There isn't an O-ring here. It's not going to leak. It just needs to be the right size for the fitting to fit, and then for the washer to come down and basically clamp it on. That's why I can work with such a very thin, flimsy plastic here. You know, obviously if this needed to be watertight, the hole would have to be very exact and you'd need a thicker material. Alright, so we have our little wedges. I just wiped off the marker with some rubbing alcohol, make it look a little cleaner. Basically you're going to line it up in the corner where you want to install the fitting and then cut a screen hole out. I have wire cutters, you can use scissors, but these are a little more precise. That's it. That's all you really need. Just a little bit of support. Then you'll hook up your tubing and you'll be in business. Alright, so I got all the fixtures installed and then I connected them all with tubing. And the way I wanted them all routed, I have 2 per enclosure, so I just drilled some holes in my canopy tops to route the tubing through. Just be careful not to drill, obviously, where the little power box is inside. So if we look up here, there's one in front, one in the back. Same on the other cage, one in front and one in back. And all this tubing comes out and goes down to a reservoir in the pump. So I'm going to set up a quick test here so you can see what it all looks like.